Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Coffee with Craig. It's a fine Thursday morning, and today we're going to talk about what, for me, is one of the best explanations ever of the individual right to keep and bear arms. Now, there's this thing called Prager University. It's available on YouTube. It's kind of put together by a guy named Dennis Prager, who's a conservative radio talk show host. But it's a series of videos, and in these videos, they pretty much, it's different people who are experts in whatever their various field is. And they come together and they discuss and kind of break down their issues or particular issues in a way in which the average person can understand. You don't have to be some sort of academic or legal or historical or mathematical scholar or scientific scholar in order to understand it. And it's really neat because it's also something that you can share with other people and help them to come to understand various different issues. Well, in this particular video, we have a gentleman named Eugene Bullock. Eugene Bullock is a law professor at UCLA. He has argued mostly First Amendment cases. He's a real expert in the First Amendment, but he's also dealt with Second Amendment law. And in this video, what he does is he breaks down the understanding of the individual right to keep and bear arms. Now, mind you, he didn't always believe that there was an individual right to keep and bear arms. In fact, there's testimony where he testified before Congress in 1998. Where he admits that, he was talking with somebody and the individual, a non-lawyer, talked to him about the individual right to keep and bear arms, and he thought the guy was a kook. Well, a couple of years later, he's preparing to teach a class on firearms regulation, and he's prepping and preparing, and as he's studying and doing all of this research, he comes upon historical knowledge or historical facts, evidence, that supports the idea and the concept of an individual right to keep and bear arms. In the video, he talks about the individual right. He talks about how the fact that the actual amendment refers to the individual right, not the right of the militia, but the individual right, the people's right. He also then compares that to other amendments within the Bill of Rights and how they specifically refer to the individual right as the people's right, not the government's, not Congress's, not the militias, but the individual right to keep and bear arms. Now, mind you, in this is a legal, intellectual discussion about the Second Amendment. Yet, if you go to YouTube and you try to view it on YouTube, if you are in restricted mode, meaning that you want to make sure that material that is not objectionable, you want to make sure that maybe your kids don't come across stuff that's objectionable on YouTube, maybe, you know what I'm talking about, you won't be able to view this particular video on YouTube. I just find that interesting. It's probably because he uses, that four-letter word. You guys know what four-letter word I'm talking about, right? Guns. Yeah, he dared probably to use the word guns, dared to probably mention guns, and because he did that, well, it's now considered to be restricted. So, but I thought that was a nice little interesting factoid. But I want to encourage you guys, watch this video and share it, please, because it's important that people come to understand. Once again, there are reasonable people out there. I know that not everybody who's anti-gun is reasonable, but there are people out there who are reasonable, who will listen to a law professor that maybe won't listen to you or I commenting on the internet or on Facebook or on YouTube or whatever. But they will listen to a noted law professor. So I want to encourage you guys to please share that. Anyway, let's see what you folks have to say about this today. Well, Hip Hop Hooray, we can hear you. I am so glad that you can hear us. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Well, no real comments about the particular topic. But anyway, I want to encourage you guys. It's important that we share information, in particular with people that help them to better understand our issue, understand this issue. Not everybody who claims to support the Second Amendment is necessarily versed on the Second Amendment and what it means. They see it as many people see it as a second-class right. And that's sad and that's unfortunate. And many people who claim to be on our side, you know, see it as a second-class right. And until we do an effective job of communicating why it is important, why it's probably the most important, because it defends all the other rights, until we are effective in communicating that, we're going to continue to lose ground in this fight. Now, nationally, we're not. But here in California, here on the West Coast, it's a battle. It's a struggle. And until we start changing the minds of people who are in the middle, the people for whom this is not a priority issue, we've got to help them understand why this needs to be a priority issue. Because it's not just about guns, it's about civil rights. And it's about the attempt to undermine all of our civil rights. Because once they take the Second Amendment, then goes the First Amendment. And once they take the First Amendment, all the rest of them are going to follow behind. Anyway, folks, that's it for today's Coffee with Craig. I very much appreciate your patience during our technical difficulties today. But we'll look forward to getting back with you again tomorrow. You folks take care. Remember to stay free.
If you like our videos, follow, subscribe, like, and share.